Before we dive into today's message, don't forget to subscribe and share this with others so they can be blessed too. Today, we're diving into an intriguing conversation with Michael Lynn, an editor, writer, and researcher from Colorado, who's back with us to discuss his latest book, The Weird Catholic Handbook. Michael, thank you for joining us again. It's always a pleasure to have you. You've explored some fascinating, unusual stories in Catholic history. It's not a criticism of the religion, but more of an exploration of its peculiar and supernatural elements, right? Exactly. Life itself has always had its strange moments, and I think our ancestors recognized that too. They passed down these tales as a way to cope with and explain the oddities they encountered. One of the things you dive into are stories involving demons, monsters, and ghosts, along with saints who seem to have a history of battling these forces. How did you uncover these stories? I've always had a fascination with the supernatural and the macabre, things like bone churches and exorcisms. I've been on this journey before, talking about Father Amorth, and I wanted to include these elements in the book. Writing it felt like crafting a love letter to all these strange things, especially during a tough period in my life. It became the foundation of the book. Saints, in particular, seem to be tied to these supernatural events. They've been battling demons and monsters for centuries. Can you give us an example? Definitely. Saints have been battling demons since the time of the apostles. Take Saint Nicholas, for example. His feast day is on December 6th. He's depicted as taming and defeating demons, and many stories highlight his role as an exorcist. Saint Patrick is another example. He fought demonic birds and even sea serpents in his mission. It's truly amazing to think about the ways these stories are woven into the fabric of the faith. Thank you for sharing, Michael. Why don't we hear stories about modern saints? There are newer saints too. I write about Padre Pio, for instance, who exemplifies mystical Catholicism. He performed incredible miracles, including bilocation, being in two places at once. Witnesses reported him praying in San Giovanni Rotondo while simultaneously meeting his spiritual children in New York. These stories show that miracles still occur, even though my book focuses mostly on older ones. Padre Pio also bore the stigmata, correct? Yes, he did. Alongside Saint Francis of Assisi, Padre Pio is one of the most famous individuals to receive the stigmata, the 5 wounds of Christ marked on his flesh. What about the demons mentioned in these stories? In Catholic tradition, demons are fallen angels. Saint Michael, the archangel, is a key figure in combating them. He cast Lucifer and a third of the angels out of heaven, and they became demons. They possess the same abilities as angels but have turned their wills against God. Their goal is to destroy human souls and separate us from God. Exorcists often encounter their deceptive and manipulative nature during exorcisms. Were ancient saints also exorcists? Yes. Exorcism became an official role later on, but in the early church, many saints, including the apostles, performed exorcisms. Saint Patrick, for example, is said to have exorcised all of Ireland, even battling demonic birds that blocked out the sun. Does the Catholic Church still practice exorcisms? Absolutely. Though many believe exorcisms are outdated, they're still performed. The International Association of Exorcists in Rome trains priests worldwide. Every diocese is supposed to have an exorcist, though the practice is usually discreet to protect individuals' privacy. Tell us about your book's title, The Weird Catholic Handbook. I chose the word weird deliberately. People often react to these stories with, "Oh, that's weird." But there's also an Old English root of weird that means fate or God's providence. Early Christian monks used it to describe divine intervention. My book highlights these misunderstood, strange stories, but also the beauty beneath them. How much truth is there in these stories? I'm skeptical, but our ancestors often took these stories as truth while also understanding their metaphorical meanings. Much like Christ's parables, tales of saints defeating dragons or demons symbolize God's power triumphing over chaos and bringing grace and peace. Can you share a story from your book? Sure. Let's talk about Saint Patrick. Around 441 AD, He climbed Croagh Patrick during Lent to fast, pray, and do penance. While there, he was attacked by black birds that could speak human words. They mocked him and hurled blasphemies. He fought them off with his bishop's crozier and holy water, but they kept returning. Finally, he used a sacred bell, ringing it 3 times. Bells hold great significance in Christianity, calling people to prayer and driving out evil. After this, the birds vanished, the sun came out, and doves began singing praises to God. You can see that very bell in Dublin's National Museum. How does someone become a saint? A saint is someone who attains unity with God in heaven. Many saints go unrecognized, but those officially canonized are identified through a process involving verified miracles. Usually 3 posthumous miracles attributed to their intercession. Local bishops initiate the process, but Rome conducts a thorough investigation before a person is declared a saint. You mention Christian werewolves in your book. What's that about? Yes, there are fascinating tales of werewolves in Christian history. One involves Street Christopher, often depicted as a giant but sometimes portrayed with the head of a dog in icons. Another story tells of the werewolves of Ossory in 10th century Ireland. These wolves, under a curse, transformed every 7 years after speaking heresies to a saint. A priest encountered them, blessed them, and heard their confessions. Such stories reflect the richness of medieval Christian imagination. How many saints are there? There are roughly 39,000 officially recognized saints, but countless more remain unknown. Are there living saints today? Yes, absolutely. While official canonization happens after death, many living people exhibit the qualities of sainthood: deep faith, service to others, and unity with God. Hard-working priests here in Denver are an example of modern sainthood. I truly believe saints are among us, perhaps even listening to this show. As for me, I'm far from sainthood. I've got a lot to work on, but I have no doubt that some people out there are on the path to becoming saints. It's amazing, isn't it? Why don't we hear much about saints today compared to the past? You'd think they'd be celebrated heroes in modern times. I believe they are out there, especially recent ones. For example, the Catholic Church is preparing to canonize the first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis. While not many people outside of Italy have heard of him, his story is becoming more well known, especially as he moves closer to sainthood. If he were alive today, he'd be about 7 years younger than me. I think saints tend to emerge during times of great need, and the world certainly has its challenges. So why does your book focus so much on exorcisms? Exorcisms are an important but often overlooked part of the Catholic Church's history. Many saints, particularly the most well-known ones, were exorcists as part of their ministry. It's one of Christ's miracles that he passed on to his apostles and their successors. I've always found the ministry of exorcism fascinating and have enjoyed studying it. In my book, I included stories from famous exorcists like Father Gabriel Amorth and others, as well as accounts of saints known for their protection against evil. Have you ever come across the work of the late Father Malachi Martin? Yes, I first read his book Hostage to the Devil when I was 21, and I've read several of his other works since then. He's a fascinating figure in Catholic history. What about ghost stories? How prevalent are they in Catholic history? Ghost stories are deeply woven into human history. We've been telling them for as long as civilization has existed. Even the Catholic Church has its share of ghost stories, dating back to figures like Saint Augustine, Pope Gregory the Great, and Thomas Aquinas. These stories persisted through the Middle Ages and are reflected in Catholic folklore, often affirming the Church's teachings and traditions. Do demons specifically target certain types of people? According to most exorcists, anyone can be a target. However, demons often prey on people who show curiosity about the occult or attempt to contact the dead. Some fall victim after being cursed by someone else, a shocking concept, but exorcists confirm it happens. Sometimes, God permits demonic attacks to test or strengthen the faith of saints. For example, Padre Pio and other holy figures experienced such trials. If a demon is successful, what's their goal? Their ultimate aim is to claim souls and lead people away from God. They thrive on spreading terror, weakening faith, and tempting others to sin. Demons hate humanity because we are made in God's image, and they despise the idea that Christ took on human flesh, something they can never do. Do demons want to inhabit a physical body that badly? Yes, corrupting a human body is an affront to God's creation. Demons seek to distort what God has made, as they cannot create or possess flesh themselves. Exorcists often describe this as a central motive behind possession. Why don't we hear about modern exorcisms? Exorcisms are kept very private to protect those involved. Many who seek an exorcist don't want their neighbors or community to know about it, especially in today's skeptical, materialist age. Priests often perform these rites discreetly and rarely discuss them publicly. It's likely you know a priest who has done an exorcism. You just wouldn't know it because of this confidentiality. You worked on a book in 2020 called The Devil is Afraid of Me. Tell us about that title. I was the editor and spokesperson for that book, which features the work of Father Gabriel Amorth, one of the most famous modern exorcists. Before his death in 2016, he performed tens of thousands of exorcisms over his long career. Known as the Pope's exorcist, Father Amorth continued working tirelessly until he passed away at 91 years old, even while battling health issues. How did he endure such a grueling ministry? Though it took a toll on him physically, he credited his faith and protection from God. Despite his suffering, he always maintained a cheerful demeanor and worked tirelessly to help those in need. What are miracles, in your opinion? Miracles are moments when God suspends the usual rules of nature to reveal his power and love. They remind us that he still cares deeply for us. Are miracles still as prevalent today as they were in the past? That's hard to say. Modern technology allows us to investigate claims more thoroughly, so miracles aren't always immediately accepted. However, they do still happen. Just recently in Missouri, there was a case of possible incorruptibility, a phenomenon where a body is supernaturally preserved after death. Can you share more about that case? It involved Mother Wilhelmina, a Black Catholic woman and the founder of a traditional Benedictine order. She lived a holy life despite facing discrimination in the South. When her body was exhumed this year to move it to a chapel, it was found to be miraculously preserved, including her clothing. No preservatives had been used, and there's no natural explanation for her state. The church is still investigating, but if confirmed, she could become the first incorruptible saint in North America. Do you think her case will be validated? We'll have to wait and see. For now, she's remembered for her holy life and the legacy she left behind. Hopefully, further investigation will provide clarity. Even in modern times, saints still exist among us. A great example is Blessed Carlo Acutis, who is set to become the first millennial saint. Carlo, who passed away in 2006, would be just a few years younger than me if he were alive today. His life reminds us that God continues to raise up saints, especially during times when the world needs them most. The hidden ministry of exorcism. Exorcisms are a crucial yet often overlooked part of the Catholic Church. Many saints, including some of the most well-known, were also exorcists. Jesus himself performed exorcisms, and he passed that authority to his apostles. Father Gabriel Amorth, who passed away in 2016, is one of the most famous modern exorcists. Known as the Pope's exorcist, he performed tens of thousands of exorcisms during his lifetime, working tirelessly to help those afflicted by evil spirits. He even continued his ministry until the age of 91, despite facing health challenges. Understanding demonic attacks. Demons are opportunistic and can attack anyone, but they often target those who are spiritually curious or vulnerable. People who engage in practices like attempting to contact the dead or using occult tools can unknowingly invite demonic influences into their lives. At times, even saints like Padre Pio endured demonic attacks as a test of their faith. The ultimate goal of demons is to claim souls, disrupt faith, and corrupt humanity, which is made in the image of God. The power of miracles. Miracles are moments when God intervenes in the natural world to remind us of his power and love. While they may not always be widely reported, miracles still happen today. For instance, in 2023, The body of Mother Wilhelmina Lancaster was discovered to be remarkably preserved years after her burial. This possible case of incorruptibility is still under investigation, but serves as a powerful testament to God's ongoing presence, levitation, and other signs of holiness. Some saints throughout history have demonstrated extraordinary signs of God's grace. Saint Joseph of Cupertino, for example, experienced levitation during moments of deep spiritual ecstasy. Witnesses, including a pope, saw him lifted off the ground, sometimes as high as the ceiling of a church. Similarly, during World War II, Padre Pio is said to have appeared in the sky to protect his town from a bombing raid. These signs remind us that God can work miracles through his faithful servants. The global battle against evil. Exorcisms and spiritual battles are not unique to Catholicism. Other Christian denominations, such as Pentecostals, also practice exorcisms. Additionally, many religions around the world have traditions to combat evil forces. For example, ancient Babylonian rituals and Jewish traditions contributed to the development of Catholic exorcism practices. A finely tuned universe. Astronomer Hugh Ross highlights how the universe is meticulously designed to support life. The mass of the universe, for example, is perfectly balanced. If it were slightly less, only hydrogen and helium would exist. If it were slightly more, stars would convert all hydrogen into heavier elements, leaving no carbon or oxygen, essential elements for life. Interpreting creation. Hugh Ross advocates Fourth-day age creationism, interpreting the days in Genesis as long periods of time rather than 24-hour days. This perspective aligns with both the biblical narrative and scientific evidence, showing that God's hand is present in the intricate design of the cosmos. The reality of spiritual experiences. Faith often brings unexpected spiritual experiences. I once attended the exorcism of a house experiencing demonic infestation. The oppressive atmosphere was like a spiritual punch in the gut, an unforgettable reminder of the reality of spiritual warfare. If asked, I'd attend another exorcism to offer prayers, but I would prepare myself spiritually beforehand. Encounters with evil remind us of the importance of staying grounded in faith and prayer. The fine-tuned universe. The universe itself reveals astonishing evidence of fine-tuning. From its mass to the rate of expansion, everything is calibrated to support life. For instance, if the universe were slightly less massive, it would only produce hydrogen and helium. If it were slightly more massive, all elements would transform into heavier ones, leaving no carbon, oxygen, or nitrogen, key building blocks for life. Dark energy, which governs the rate of cosmic expansion, is also precisely fine-tuned. Too much or too little would either prevent star and planet formation or cause galaxies to collapse prematurely. This intricate balance ensures that life as we know it can exist. Earth's unique relationship with the Sun. The Sun plays a crucial role in supporting life on Earth, but it's not just any star. Scientists have been searching for a twin of the Sun for over 60 years and have yet to find a perfect match. The Sun's unique characteristics, including its size, temperature, and stability, make it ideal for sustaining life. Additionally, our solar system's planets are finely tuned to protect Earth. Gas giants like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune act as shields, deflecting comets and asteroids. Even the precise positioning of Earth in the habitable zone allows for liquid water and a stable climate essential for advanced life. The sweet spot in the galaxy. Earth doesn't just occupy a sweet spot in our solar system. It also resides in a perfect location within the galaxy. We're positioned halfway between the Perseus and Sagittarius spiral arms of the Milky Way, avoiding the radiation and instability near the galactic core. Our galaxy's supermassive black hole, while massive at 4 million times the mass of the Sun, is relatively small and currently in a quiet phase. This, combined with our distance from it, ensures safety from its radiation. The entire galactic environment is uniquely suited to foster advanced life. Underscore The improbability of fine-tuning. The fine-tuning required for life is so statistically improbable that it's virtually impossible without supernatural intervention. Hugh Ross likened the odds to winning the California lottery 150 consecutive times while buying only one ticket, or none at all. Even when accounting for the vastness of the universe and its many planets, these probabilities remain astronomically low. Earth's atmosphere and surface gravity. Earth's atmosphere is another testament to fine-tuning. Initially, Earth had an atmosphere 200 times thicker than it is today, which would have made advanced life impossible. Events like the moon-forming collision and our solar system's birth in a dense star cluster helped strip away much of this atmosphere, leaving one perfectly suited for life. Our surface gravity is also finely balanced, strong enough to retain essential elements like water, but not so strong that harmful gases like methane and ammonia accumulate. The moon's role in stability. Earth's relationship with the moon is unique. Compared to its host planet, the moon is 50 times more massive than any other moon in the solar system. This size difference stabilizes Earth's axial tilt, ensuring a consistent climate. Without the moon, Earth's axis could wobble wildly, similar to Mars, whose tilt swings by 60 degrees. Thanks to the moon, Earth's tilt varies by only 1 degree, providing the stable conditions necessary for life. Earth's unique Ice Age cycle. Earth's present era is remarkable. We are living in an Ice Age cycle with an extraordinary period of climate stability, a narrow time window that uniquely enables advanced civilization to thrive. This stability is another example of the fine-tuned conditions essential for life. The perfect solar eclipse. From our vantage point on Earth, solar eclipses are nothing short of extraordinary. The moon is perfectly sized and positioned to obscure the sun's disk, creating a total eclipse where we can view the sun's corona. If the moon were closer, the eclipses would last too long. If it were further away, we would only experience partial eclipses. This perfect alignment enables us to study the sun's atmospheric layers and even test groundbreaking theories like Einstein's general relativity. It was during a total solar eclipse that astronomers first verified Einstein's predictions by observing the bending of light from stars near the sun. Such precision not only reveals the sun's secrets but also opens windows to understanding stars throughout the universe. Biblical insights on cosmology. Thousands of years before modern science, the Bible described concepts consistent with Big Bang cosmology. It speaks of a universe with a space-time beginning, Genesis 1 verse 1, and mentions that the universe is continuously expanding, Isaiah 40 verse 22. The Bible also describes unchanging physical laws, Jeremiah 33 verse 25, and a pervasive law of decay, predicting the universe would grow colder over time, Psalm 102 verses 25 to 27. Modern measurements of the universe's cooling curve align perfectly with these ancient biblical insights, showcasing the harmony between scripture and scientific discovery. Astronomy and faith. Interestingly, a significant percentage of physical scientists, including astronomers, believe in God. This is higher than in fields like anthropology or sociology. Many astronomers, in particular, see the intricate design of the universe as evidence of a creator. One such astronomer, Hugh Ross, shared how his own studies led him to faith. As a young man, he wasn't raised in a religious home. However, his exploration of the universe's origins convinced him of a divine creator. After studying various religious texts, he concluded that only the Bible passed rigorous scientific and historical tests. This realization led him to commit his life to Jesus Christ. The size and purpose of the universe. The universe's vastness, spanning 2 trillion galaxies, might lead some to question humanity's significance. Yet, this immense scale is necessary for life. The universe must be the exact size and mass it is to sustain one planet capable of advanced life. Earth is also uniquely positioned to observe the cosmos. If we had existed earlier or later in cosmic history, light from a universe's beginning wouldn't reach us, and we wouldn't be able to study the full story of creation. Even the darkness of the night sky allows us to peer into the farthest reaches of space, uncovering the universe's design and purpose. Habitable zones and exoplanets. While astronomers have discovered over 4,000 exoplanets, none compare to Earth. For a planet to support life, it must reside in at least 11 distinct habitable zones, including liquid water, ultraviolet, and atmospheric zones. Yet, of all known planets, only one meets even 3 of these criteria: our little blue marble. Interestingly, the fine-tuning required for primitive life is significant, but the level of precision increases exponentially for plants, even more for animals, and reaches its peak with humans. Earth's ability to support billions of people and advanced civilizations highlights the extraordinary care in its design. Conclusion: a universe designed for discovery. Far from being random, the universe reveals a purposeful design. Every detail, from the alignment of the moon to the precise conditions on Earth, points to a creator who not only made life possible but also gave us the ability to explore and understand his creation. Astronomy not only uncovers the physical properties of the cosmos but also shines a light on the fingerprints of God. Through the study of the stars, we see not just vastness but intention. A reminder that, despite our smallness, we are deeply significant in the Creator's grand design. God's creative will and the possibility of other life. When considering the possibility of other intelligent life in the universe, 2 perspectives emerge. Is God's creativity infinite, leading to the creation of multiple forms of advanced life, or does he prefer to conserve his miraculous interventions? From a biblical standpoint, both ideas are possible. However, as an astronomer, my observations show that beyond Earth, conditions are overwhelmingly hostile to advanced life. Some of my colleagues believe it's possible to find a planet where simple bacteria might exist for a brief time, but such environments would be far more conducive to microbial life than to advanced beings. Panspermia theory and its challenges. The panspermia theory, suggesting that life came to Earth from other planets via comets or meteors, faces significant scientific challenges. At conferences focused on the origins of life, biochemists have ruled out Earth and other planets in our solar system as viable locations for life's origin due to issues like the oxygen paradox and ultraviolet radiation. One of the major obstacles to panspermia is the vast travel time across interstellar space. Molecules necessary for life have finite lifespans and would likely be destroyed by gamma rays, X-rays, and UV radiation on their journey. In fact, by the year 2000, most scientists had abandoned the idea of life traveling from another planet. Some even jokingly suggested that life might have been planted here by an advanced civilization, though this idea too faces significant hurdles. Space travel and the limits of technology. The notion of interstellar travel, whether for humans or bacteria, is incredibly problematic due to the distances and radiation involved. Experiments on mice have shown that life outside Earth's protective magnetosphere cannot survive long-term, as digestive systems and other biological processes break down. Given our current technology, sending humans to Mars or beyond would be perilous due to the lack of protection from radiation. Why doesn't God want us to spread throughout the cosmos? The question arises, why hasn't God allowed humanity to spread throughout the galaxies? From a biblical perspective, God created the universe as part of a two-creation model. The current universe serves as a means to eradicate evil and suffering, while enhancing the free will of intelligent beings. Once evil is eradicated, we will transition to a new creation, where the laws of physics and spacetime will be fundamentally different. The fine-tuning of the universe is not just for sustaining life but also for this greater purpose of eradicating evil. As I explain in my book Why the Universe is the Way It Is, the universe's laws, gravity, electromagnetism, and thermodynamics, are crucial for the process of moral refinement. These laws ensure that those who commit evil will experience consequences such as pain, wasted time, and additional work to correct the damage caused. The laws of physics as instructors. The laws of physics serve as both protectors and instructors. They motivate us to seek help, acknowledging that none of us can live a virtuous life on our own. This idea is mirrored in the Bible, which teaches that we need divine assistance to overcome our shortcomings. The law of entropy, the law of decay, plays a crucial role in this process. It has always been a part of the universe, according to Scripture, Romans 8 verse 21, and it's an essential part of God's plan for eradicating evil. Astronomers have measured the laws of physics across the universe with remarkable precision, confirming that they have remained constant since the universe's beginning. This consistency is one of the reasons I trust that the Bible's scientific insights are accurate. The law of entropy and lifespan changes. When considering the long lifespans of people in the Old Testament, like Noah and Methuselah, many wonder if something changed that impacted human longevity. The law of entropy didn't change, but scientists believe the radiation environment on Earth did. Two astronomers have studied the cosmic ray Ni and concluded that a supernova event occurred relatively close to Earth within the last 100,000 years. This event likely increased the level of deadly cosmic radiation, shortening human lifespans. Before this, humans may have been less exposed to such radiation, potentially explaining the longer lifespans described in the Bible. After the supernova, however, lifespans were shortened, and the Bible reflects this shift, reducing human lifespans from 900 years to 120. Protection of Earth until an appointed time. As for the idea that the Earth will be protected from catastrophic events until God's appointed time, there are biblical references, such as in Revelation 8, which mention objects striking the Earth and affecting freshwater supplies. However, these events wouldn't destroy humanity. They would only cause significant challenges, like poisoning a third of the world's freshwater. There are concerns about planet-killer asteroids, but there's also fascinating evidence of how past asteroid impacts helped stabilize Earth's climate. For example, a large asteroid impact in Greenland helped prevent an extreme temperature increase during an ice age, leading to a period of climate stability that has lasted 10,000 years. It turns out that such impacts, 3 asteroids of the right size and timing, are necessary for climate stability, and it's a rare event that has allowed civilization to thrive. It's almost as if God is a great dart player, orchestrating this perfect timing. The conditions for a stable climate. To understand Earth's current stable climate, we must consider that we're living in an ice age cycle, characterized by dramatic temperature fluctuations over short periods. Normally, global temperatures can shift by 15 degrees Celsius in just a few centuries, which would make it difficult for civilizations to thrive. However, a key asteroid impact in Greenland around 12,000 years ago interrupted this cycle, leading to a 1,200-year period of temperature stability. This stability has been essential for the development of human civilization. In the past 70 years, however, the global temperature has increased more rapidly, which is concerning. Over the last 9,500 years, the temperature had been gradually decreasing by about 8 degrees Celsius, but in the past 70 years, human activity has reversed that trend. This rapid warming is now a topic of intense debate among climatologists, with some arguing that human activities are to blame, while others focus on potential solutions that won't cripple economies. Addressing anthropogenic global warming. I do believe that human activity has contributed to global warming, particularly through greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and chlorofluorocarbons. However, I also believe there are solutions that could both address climate change and enhance the global economy. For example, restoring whale populations to their pre-whaling numbers could have a significant impact. Whales play a crucial role in fertilizing the ocean's photic zone, which helps remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Although whales do release some carbon dioxide, their role in the ecosystem can offset their emissions by helping to remove more than 4 times as much carbon. The discussion begins by reflecting on the long lifespans of people in the Bible, like Noah and Methuselah, questioning whether the law of entropy changed. The idea proposed is that cosmic radiation from a supernova might have impacted human lifespan. 2 astronomers suggest that the radiation from this supernova, which occurred in the last 100,000 years, may have caused the decline in human lifespans from 900 years to 120 years. The conversation then shifts to the idea of biblical prophecy and the fate of Earth. A passage from Revelation 8 suggests that an object will strike the Earth, making a third of its freshwater undrinkable. While this doesn't threaten human survival, it raises concerns about the planet's resources. The topic moves to the role of asteroids in climate stability, noting how a large asteroid hit Greenland, leading to a period of extreme climate stability for the last 10,000 years. This stability has been key to the development of human civilization. Hugh Ross explains that this period of stability is part of an ice age cycle and that an asteroid impact helped stabilize Earth's climate. The debate about human-caused global warming is discussed, with Ross acknowledging that human activity is accelerating temperature rise, but also noting that solutions exist, like restoring whale populations to help regulate carbon levels. Other solutions mentioned include replanting deserts like the Sahara and the Gobi to turn them into productive, carbon-absorbing land. Ross also discusses energy alternatives to fossil fuels, mentioning that controlled fusion, which is still in development, could replace fossil fuels in the future. He also dismisses zero-point energy, stating it violates the laws of physics. The conversation also touches on the existence of multiple dimensions, linking them to the Bible's description of heaven and hell as existing outside of spacetime. Ross explains that, while scientists hypothesize the existence of more dimensions, the Bible suggests that heaven and hell exist in a realm beyond our universe. The discussion concludes by addressing the resurrection and immortality, asserting that while the laws of physics govern our physical bodies, the spirit exists outside these laws. Ross believes the resurrection and miracles like walking on water are within God's power. He concludes by discussing the Shroud of Turin, suggesting further testing to determine its age and whether it could be linked to a resurrection event. Lastly, Ross emphasizes the importance of ongoing scientific discoveries that align with the Christian faith, particularly in areas like the origin of life and biological speciation, which he sees as evidence of supernatural intervention.